Ian Wood, voiceover demo. At lunch, Sam sat alone at an empty table with a bored expression on his face. His knee bounced up and down with longing to be somewhere else. He glanced up at the clock and couldn't wait for it to ring. One more class after lunch and he would be able to go to the assembly, and then go back to his room where he could... Well, there wasn't much for him to do except do homework and hang out in the library. His knee stopped bouncing and he sighed. Why did I come here in the first place? He moved the soggy fish sticks on his plate in disgust, then glanced over at the other tables. He thought a little about going to a table like he had yesterday and attempting to make conversation. It didn't go too well. He fingered the bruise on his side where one of the students had jabbed him. A bag slammed heavily onto the table, and someone sat down with a heavy sigh. He looked up from his plate, startled. The same girl from yesterday, he thought in wonder. It was easier to take in her appearance now. She had a nice body, narrow shoulders, and was short in stature. She was more fit than he was and obviously took more time making sure she looked good. Her hair was down and rested just below her shoulders, curving slightly around her chin and piercing green eyes. What are you looking at? She asked. Sam smiled and poked at his food again. I'm Samuel. I know who you are, Melty, she said and took a bite of her pizza. How'd she get that? Everyone knows you. Could have fooled me, he thought, but he smiled for her sake. I must be loved by all and accepted by none. She chuckled, mistaking his seriousness for humor. I'm Jade, by the way. Nice to officially meet you, he said. She wiped her hands on her napkin. Well, did you find what you were looking for in the library?